Hey, how's you guys been doing? Hope you've been doing pretty well as of recently as well too, given the coronavirus situation and whatnot. Hope you guys have been staying well, staying alive, because this bioweapons well too, it's definitely, affecting everyone in more ways than one and whatnot, and this idea to flatten the curve. We actually have no idea what the hell it's. There's some other meaning behind it too, because just something that's been recently announced. So the conspiracy theories would have to wait for a little bit until they flourish up a bit more. But at the same time, I do hope. That's some of the essential work that you have been doing as well too. For one, you guys are pretty goddamn lucky as well too, because as myself as well too, I do consider myself to be pretty lucky as well too, because to have myself one of the let's say job placement agencies there, for one, I'd say they're quite the best to have around. You might be wondering as to why, as to for that. Now, one thing that I can definitely tell you for sure is that the let's say actually have helped me get myself one of my dream jobs. But it was my first dream job, actually, to be honest with you, because I actually did my best, to look for some things here and there or not. But as we all know how broken a lot of our system is, whatnot. Oh man, how can I say? Is Let's just put it this way, that you spend all your time, let's say, in school to graduate up and whatnot. You go up to, let's say, to college and you graduate. But as I already said before, know the difference between academic experience and work experience, because they're both pretty different, well too. But thankfully, all the hard work that I've been putting on, has been paying off quite well, actually. And so I got myself to, what was it, my third dream job that I've gotten. And actually, yeah, you say third as in that I've gotten, right? No. Third dream job as in, let's say, things that I wanted, but it did or never happened. So the thing is, it's this is the first time it ever actually worked. Well, the two of them were just dead. Because for one as well, two, I kind of did, dream up that some time ago I would have been and up in the military, go on like Call of Duty, fight the wars and go up the ranks and everything, unlock permission to have yourself some much better weaponry as time goes on. But that never happened because reality's a bitch. And because I don't know, life just kept shutting off every opportunity that I had over time, but not so. I can't really do nothing about it all too. Besides, looking like some dumbass whatnot. So that died off over time and whatnot. But I'll go back to that in a bit, because there's something quite interesting as well too. I need to point out as well too that it actually feels, that something's off. Just let me get myself some bit of water. Some That's awkward. Gotta keep yourself hydrated as well too. That's one of the most important things around in these moments to live well too. But anyways, back to another thing that I did actually wanted to become well too. It was a welder. To do some MIG welding, some TIG welding, whatnot. It's gonna be. At least my mind over here it was actually supposed to be the best thing in the world. But did it happen? Actually, it did happen. Actually, I do got myself, some, college experience, about a semester's worth of experience with with MIG and TIG welding. Well, a bit less with TIG because that was be the one you hold the torch in one hand and the metal rod on the other. Because because first off, I mean, before you even touch any of these, I mean, you need to go through a lot of health and safety courses for that, which is legally obliged for quite a few reasons as to why. And as well too, that you would, I mean, if you really want to go, let's say to those kind of job places, well, you would really need to have yourself some good protective equipment. Because some time ago, I mean, I remember before I actually had some equipment a little too, I had to rely on some lended equipment and whatnot because I mean, OSHA, the Canadian OSHA version of the too says that you need to have some extra equipment, for those who didn't need it too. I mean, no, not didn't need, who didn't have, right? At least you got the mask, but I mean, on the first time too, I believe when my professor was looking for some things too to get around, I actually went on, let's say, bare hands on some MIG welding at first. It actually, I mean, wasn't all that, how can I say, all that bad actually. Just got myself just a few small scars on my hands, because let's show over here. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, on my this finger, on this little finger over here, you see like a little scratch over here on the bit of the top of it. That's a little splatter then went scraping off. What else? But then again, I use this hand a lot on the torch too. And this hand over here, we had on my hands on the pliers at the time though too to hold it. But my left arm, I mean, was took the most damage too, because you can see here too. Yeah, you go. See the little pink spot over there. I was nailed by a pretty big splat over there too. Some more on my other arm over here, but I mean, this is like the other best one I can find over here too. That was like a little big spot that hit me over there. Well, I felt that one for quite a while too. And also a little protection on the head too, because I felt sometime my hit in my head over here too, and well, essentially burning off some of my hair. But I mean, when I finally graduated too, which I was more than happy to. Back then, I did actually manage to get myself, one of my first job attempts, before I went to the general laboring, was with welding. But I mean, the standard that I was taught was the standard they wanted was completely different. So, guess I failed that. And as much as I wanted, to go on with all that, I mean, one of the downsides of living in a small town is that you don't have a lot of opportunities per se. But hey, I mean, like, at least, I mean, I was able to at least to spend my time in quite a few warehouse jobs here and there, whatnot. And so I got myself interested in some forklifts. Now, the forklifts, too, at a distance, they seem, like a pretty simple job, but at the same time, no, they aren't. Because over time, when I got myself my forklift job, which I did got in, and well, given the pandemic situation, too, has become quite a bit of a essential job per se. And so I said, fine, the forklift job it is. And so I went, let's say for a few, I mean, like, what was it? It was a big company. I don't remember the name of it right now. Right now. But it's actually, like, it was pretty easy. I mean, driving around. I mean, despite being awkward as well, too. And you have to try your damn hardest to not hit the goddamn anything, anything, doesn't matter what it is. If it's a wall or something, you just do your best to not hit it. But at the same time, though, too, it's actually pretty fun, though, too, despite the fact that you driving around a huge uh, for 4-ton? Yeah, let's say a 4-ton beast to carry out shipments of this and that around and whatnot. Which sure, it does pay off well. I mean, given there's a much more higher risk over there and whatnot if you do fuck up over there on that, which you gotta make damn sure that doesn't happen or not. But if you say as well too, I'm like, oh, I got myself the forklift, right? Not the ones that have the forks that go way up top, right? No. Despite the fact that those are the most common ones to have around, they are not. I would say the one that I did any let's say the entry level whatnot. You first start off with what's called a center rider, which is let's say the one that I use is, well, you stand up is all too. Uh, a little a little motor in front or whatnot. Have to go through a lot of inspections before you use it because you never know if the person who used it before had like the abused damn thing or whatnot. But at the same time, it was actually quite a bit of an interesting one as well too. Have a lot of interesting principles to it. I highly recommend, and I love it as well too. But I don't know as well too. I did talk to some of the superiors as well too if they could actually grant me some training on some, let's say, the other machines or whatnot, because well, it just doesn't go, let's say, from the center rider to the forklift, which the official name for it is called a reach truck. Have you heard about a reach truck? No, you have not. Well, actually, the reach truck is actually the version of the forklift on steroids because it has a much higher reach, and for that it needs to have some two stabilizers up front. What's the forklift that we actually know is actually called the Pacer. There you go. I remember it. I remember it well. And the version of the center rider without the forks is called the Elf truck. And if you're really daring as well too, there's even a how can I say, a more extreme version of the Pacer or the reach truck, I would say, called the order picker. Now you might be wondering, what the hell is an order picker? Well, it's basically, let's say, like the Pacer, obviously, but when the forks go up, you go up with it a little too. I guess you could say a little too for the sake of, let's say, some accuracy and whatnot, but at the same time, the driving of that thing is awkward as hell, for one. And it's pretty goddamn extreme as well too if things are not properly, say, organized over there and whatnot, inspection and whatnot. Which, hey, say just a part of the job, eh? And, well, I do hope to myself to get myself a slice of that pie and whatnot, so, build up, the skills that over time that would allow you to go for some more jobs and whatnot. That's the most important things. When you, let's say, go into the workforce, is sometimes that, yes, college may help you train. Well, college, university, and whatnot may actually help you train and whatnot. Technical schools could probably count on more, but if it's one thing that you should do the most is to build up some skills and whatnot. But again, we're at the middle of a pandemic, which means you may or may not have a lot of opportunities and whatnot, right? And in this pandemic, well, too, some funny things have been happening ever since. And what's even more worrisome as well, too, is that some of them as well, too, they give off some pretty weird vibes, I would say. Most likely, if you're a history nerd, you would know that before World War II started, there's been some pretty funny shit happening back then. That was called the Spanish flu, right? The stock markets crash, the Great Depression, and some things happening with the oil back then as well too, which let's say, are quite, gave a little itching behind the ear that something's wrong, I would say. Most likely, that I am getting the vibes though too that we may or may not, go end up going to another world war per se, because for one is all too that things have been giving off a little weird vibe per se, and rather like the future with the domestic robots, the flying cars, and all the high tech stuff is just, well, the space exploration, even space mining as well too. Yeah, could have been something. Well, too bad. Some people just too stingy not to take chances or to improve. Some of our day-to-day things though too, right? Because let's admit it too. Some of our stuff that we have are just so goddamn outdated. It's well, for one, I can say as well too. It's getting in the way of a lot of things. I would say, for one. Well, but at the same time, a little too, is that if you were to think about it a little too, it does add up a little too. Yeah, who knows, a little too? Maybe all the things that we thought at the time we thought that they would be true, they would be accurate, that we could believe and whatnot would be true, but well, unfortunately, just never happened. And I honestly have no idea if we're actually gonna end up, into another world war or not. Because for one, as well too, you might be working in a supermarket or another warehouse per se, and suddenly you're laid off. Then the next day, they hand you draft. Here, we're gonna pick you up at 3 o'clock tomorrow at work. Well, at your house, and they're gonna ship you off to basic training because they're gonna be drafted for World War III and whatnot. And so you think to yourself, oh, this ought to be something. And it just really makes you wonder a little too, just what the hell's gonna happen next, a little too. Because we know, what's happening now, but if we didn't know before what's gonna happen next, we sure as hell don't even know what's even gonna happen next as of now. Because, this quarantine and everything, because, again, it gives off, some vibes, that some things are a little off, per se, or a little bit off and whatnot. And sure that if I had the opportunity as well, too, I myself, I could as well, too, just be able to do my contribution and whatnot, but, this is something I've been holding on to for quite a while, because, let's say, as much as I wanted to, let's say, to do the things, that could do to improve things on a global scale, for one, shit's expensive. I wouldn't even know where to start, so that's another point. Resources, which, cuts, to the first point, but at the same time, it's not just, monetary. Tools, people, staff and whatnot. That also cuts in, to the projects, some projects and everything. And one of my favorite words of all times, it's small, 3 letters. It can be, pretty simple to say, but it can be the most complicated things to solve. How? How would anyone even be able to get things started off in the first place, or even to let it grow over time at a good pace and everything, right? Now, because the thing is, too, sure, you think you can go at the slowest pace, which could probably be the safest per se. They can also grow at the highest, which means that they will be, let's say, the most. They would grow pretty goddamn fast, but at the same time, there's a high chance of them crashing down. Keep that in mind. I also know that I'm not sick with the disease of whatnot. I'm just being lazy, because right now I just gotta get up right now and just got a lot of shit done and whatnot. And yes, I'm sorry that I haven't been uploading a lot of gameplay footage about this and that and whatnot, or even like being the edgy me and whatnot, because adult life. There's some pros and there's some cons to it. I'll tell you that much. You know, supposing that, let's say you're underage or whatnot, and still in school, still living with your parents or not. But let me tell you, it's gonna hit you hard. It's gonna hit you way, way harder than you think. So be prepared. Otherwise, it's gonna be much worse or whatnot. And as much as you know, let's say I need to break a little illusion for you as well too and whatnot. That let's say a lot of things say as well too, movies or not, that hey, you're gonna live out yourself. You got your own house. You don't need to pay the bills. You don't need to pay the rent if you rented. You just go out and don't need to work and just go out for restaurants and just enjoying party and everything whatnot. That's bullshit. That's the most dangerous kind of bullshit that they taught you. And I'll tell you what as well too, because I mean that shit counts and whatnot. And I could actually and actually could see some of the aftermath when I moved out to another place. This place when I moved out, it was destroyed. It was neglected. That me and my landlord. I mean, when I used to live in my other place, well, too, I was working as a cleaner per se. It was quite a bit stressful because let's say I went to work, did my shift, then I went back, relaxed a bit, then I went to my soon to be new place, which like the place that I'm at that I am now. And we actually did, some bit of work and whatnot because, the drywall might have a lot of benefits, but for one, it's fragile as shit. I did, like quite a bit of like the painting on the ceilings, so you can see as well too, like that paint on the ceiling over there. That's what I did as well too, and I'm not quite proud of my work that I put in. It was a little messy as well too per se, but I still haven't had the time to clean up as well too and whatnot because, well, even in this place as well too. I mean, there's still a lot of things that I do want to fix, here and there and whatnot. But it just takes up a lot of time and whatnot, and as much as I wanted to, let's say to work as for the time being, it just doesn't work because a lot of reasons as to why, and dealing with a lot of things is a bitch, because not even let's say for rent bills, to handle, but even for some house, let's say maintenance or too, because sometimes you might move into some place which sure it might be beautiful in the photos when you saw in the ad, but inside, I mean, may not be all that good. But at the same time, I mean, you just gotta put in some work and whatnot. But I mean, have your landlord around a little too with someone that knows what they're doing, so they could help you out and whatnot. Because sometimes some basic cleaning, some painting, and everything whatnot, because you're gonna have to do as well too whatnot. Well, but at the same time, I mean, you're gonna be quite limited also because the pandemic is going on, and all the stores, especially the hardware stores, are all closed down and whatnot. So basically, we're all fucked. And then the thing is too that I have been uploading, pretty regularly as well too, is that I did point out, like some of my eyes over here, eh? I may not show as well too for one as well too, but I'm having myself quite a lot of mental breakdowns, quite a lot of panic attacks and whatnot, and having to hide them down, like from have to hide them down all constantly. It isn't quite fun. I would say that a little too, despite the fact that sure, things have been going a little too, pretty. How can I say pretty good? I'd say. I mean, reasonably well, but at the same time, a little too is that little thing, is a little too that I learned the hard way in life that if things are going too well, usually means something's wrong, and I don't want to you'd be caught in a blast of it as well too. But even though like some people might say as well too, hey, I mean you're pretty intelligent or not. Well, that's all true, I would say. I would say the full picture, yes, that I mean that case that I would be, quite intelligent or not, but at the same time is that I'm quite a paranoid motherfucker, and I'm just trying my best to hide it all. And of course, with a declining mental health or not, but at the same time, that's just life. It's just gonna beat you down and torment you just for the heck of it, eh? But yeah, no, I have to. I mean, like it's been quite a blast, chatting with you guys or whatnot. But just some things, just gonna be quite a wild ride, in the long run. But at the same time, best of luck. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll hope to see you guys next time. And until then, so see you guys next time. And until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Because if you don't, I'll be waiting for you in the afterlife. That's a promise. Anyways, have a good one.